If you've ever looked at anyone wearing a pair of sunglasses, you've probably noticed that sometimes you can see your reflection in the lens. Well, unless you're a vampire. I like to do it when I watch YouTube videos to see if I can figure out what the person in the video is looking at. I'm just curious, I guess. In this video, I'm going to be replacing the lens of the sunglasses that this woman is wearing. And then I'm going to put a whole new image in there and show you how you can make it look like it's reflected. So the first thing I'm going to do is to zoom in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here, and right here is something called the pen tool. And I'm going to click on the pen tool. And I am going to put little nodes around the sunglasses so that I can make a selection. Now, how close you put the nodes is really going to depend on how round your sunglasses are. And you can always adjust it after you're done. So if you kind of screw up, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so once you get to the end, you're going to click on the very first node so that you can seal off your selection. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and click the node tool, because that's what we use to adjust the nodes in case we don't like where they are. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to draw a selection box with the node tool, and then I'm going to go up here and click on Convert to Smooth. And then once I convert to smooth, then if I want, I can make any adjustments that I need to make. And obviously I messed up there. And so we can move that around, make any adjustments, and then once we're done, we can, let's see, maybe that should be down a little bit farther. Once we're done and we have everything the way we want, maybe this should be over a little bit. Then we can click here, and then we're going to go up to Fill. So we're going to go up to Fill, click on Swatches, and then click on Black. Now before I click on this, notice on the right that when we put in the curves, we have now a new layer that says Curve on it. So this is a whole new layer, and what we're going to do is we're going to fill it with black. So now we have that one done, and I can click off of that. We're going to do the same exact thing with this one. So we're going to go over here and click on the pen tool, and then we're going to select our nodes. Now remember, you can't make any adjustments to the nodes until you click on the node tool. You can't adjust it with the pen tool once you've clicked it down. Otherwise, if you try to adjust it, all you're going to do is you'll be pulling it all around. Okay, so let's seal that off right there. And then we're going to come over here and select the node tool. And I'm going to do exactly what I did to the other lens. I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to click on Convert to Smooth. And then we'll smooth this out a little bit. Now if we have any nodes that we need to adjust, then we can adjust them. I think this one probably could, need to click on the node first, or else it's not gonna, or else the whole thing is gonna move. And click on that one. But just set down a little bit. Click on this one, just set down a little bit. And get it to where you want it, within reason. I mean, once we zoom back out, it's not going to, you're not going to see every little problem. I think I'm going to move this one down a little bit. And maybe move this one out a little bit. And this one needs to be down a little bit. This one. And so on. Okay, so I'm going to leave that like that. Then we need to go up here, make sure that your curve is selected, go up here, and then fill it with black. So now that is filled with black. So now what we have two lenses. We have this lens, which is our right lens. So we're going to name this right lens. And then we've got this one, which is the left lens, and we're going to name this left lens. Now, before we leave this, we need to notice that these two are not pixel layers. We need to have them as pixel layers, so we're going to click, or I'm going to right click and then go to rasterize to change that to a pixel layer, and then do the same with this one. So now we're done to that part. Now what we need to do is we need to bring in the picture that she's supposed to be looking at. So I'm going to go to File and Place and bring in this picture, this vintage car, it says vintage car in town picture, and I'm going to open it, and then I'm going to paint over the lens. Now this particular picture is supposed to be underneath the right lens, and the way that we have to get it to do that is to pull it down in here, and there we are. So we have that. Another thing that we need to do before we forget about it is this is an image, not a pixel layer, so we need to rasterize this. Now most of the time it does tell us to rasterize it, or it will ask or something like that, but that's not that important. Now what we need to do is to get this centered the way we want and to make sure we don't have any black stuff out there. So we can do that, and that looks fine. So there's that one. And now we need to go to the left lens, which is this one, and we are going to do the same thing. We're going to go to File and Place, and then click on the image that we want and open, and we're going to move this over the left lens. Let's rasterize this while it's here. And then in order to make this go behind it, we need to pull it in right there. So now we have our image, and let's make it, let me see, okay, let's align this because she's really looking straight ahead, so that looks fine. Okay, so now we have her looking at this town with this old car. But most people, when they look at things with reflective lenses, the image isn't flat. So in order to make it more realistic, what we're going to do is we are going to select the pixel layer. Whoops. Okay, go up here. We are going to select this layer or this image, and then what we're going to do, and the one that I'm selecting is the one of the car. So that's what this pixel layer is. It's the one of the car. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to this thing that says Liquify Persona, and then we're going to click on it. Okay, so we need to get this to go down a little bit. So now we're on our left lens, and we're going to click on Liquify Push Left. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to click down and move our image around. Now see how it's morphing into something that doesn't look flat, but looks more like something that would be on a mirror? So all you have to do, all I'm doing is clicking on it and moving my mouse. So you just need to move it around until you get something that looks like it would be an image in a pair of sunglasses. And of course the lenses are not flat. So once you get it where you want it, all this moved around, then all you have to do is to come up here and select Apply. That will get us back into the photo persona, and then what we can do is to go down to our right lens and click on this pixel layer. Make sure you click on it or it's not going to do anything when you go over to the Liquify persona. You're going to click on the Liquify persona, and then we're going to come over here to this one and then move it around. All it's really doing is it's pushing the pixels around, so that's why it looks like it's deforming. So it's pushing the pixels around. You don't want to go too crazy on this. When I was experimenting with this, I was having so much fun that I completely ruined the photo. But anyway, so experiment around until you get what you think looks good enough. And then once you get that, you'll select Apply. So now what we have is we have her looking at something through her sunglasses, and that's pretty much showing that it's not a flat image. But we're not going to stop there, because what we need to do is we need to put some lighting in here. And the way we're going to do that is to go down here where it says Add Pixel Layer. And I clicked on the top layer because I want this pixel layer to appear at the top. Okay, so here's your pixel layer. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our gradient tool to try to put some lighting in both of these lenses. So over here, I'm going to click on gradient with the pixel layer selected, click on it, and we are going to go up here, and for type, it's going to be solid, and you're going to get a solid background. It's either going to be black or white. I'm getting white, but I want it to be a black gradient, but that's fine because I'll just flip it. Okay, so then we're going to draw a little bit of a gradient, and we're going to go up here, and instead of linear, we're going to do elliptical because we're looking at it in the lens. And now we have what we want. We have a elliptical gradient that we can adjust, turn around, or whatever. But how do we know where the lens is? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to go up here. Right now it's 100% opacity, so that means it's covering up that bottom layer. So what you need to do is to come up here and turn down the opacity, adjust the layer, and then I will move this over to the right lens. So move over the right lens and then adjust it to where you can see some lighting in there. You can adjust this little thing and it will darken it up a little bit if you want. Okay, I'll leave it right there. And then once we get this where we want it, and that is the right lens, we are going to take this and we're going to pull it into the right lens. So now it's in the right lens. To finish this up, we are going to go on the right lens, go to multiply, and now we can kind of get this, get this to where we have okay, maybe I don't want that. I'll change it back to normal. Sometimes I like that and sometimes I don't. And I don't right now, so I'm going to leave it right like this. Now keep in mind that if you want to change your mind, what's going to happen? Well, let's see if I can. What's going to happen is that that gradient will go away. Okay, so here we have that, and we have it in our lens. And then to see it, all we have to do is click out of it. And then we've got a light right there in our lens. Now, we're going to repeat that step with the other lens. So I'm going to click on the top, then I'm going to add a pixel layer, and the one for this lens, the left lens, appears on the top. We are going to go to our gradient tool. Our gradient tool is selected. And then up here, remember to go to type and select solid, because if it stays at none, you're just going to be looking at her face. So now we have this. We're going to draw our gradient, and then we're going to make it go elliptical because it's in glasses, and adjust it down. We are going to turn down the opacity so we can see where the heck we're putting it. And we will move it over here. And then now we can adjust it to where the light is in the center. I'll move that around a little bit. Oh, I don't want that. Okay. Okay, so I want to move this under this lens. Okay, so now it's merged with the other lens and we can see what it looks like. Since this gradient is still here, we can still adjust it around if we want to change it, but I kind of like it like that. Okay, so you can always change it. Okay, so now we can zoom out and take a look at what we have. If I were to do this over again, I probably would not make the center so bright. It kind of looks like somebody shining a flashlight in her lenses. But anyway, that's how you put an image behind the lenses and put lighting in there to where you can actually get some lighting. So right there, it looks like that she is looking at this car in this town, and she's got a little bit of a reflection. Most lenses do. Okay, now give this a try and see how you do. And I hope you got something out of this. I had fun learning how to do it. So remember to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to give this old girl some love. And remember, practice makes perfect. So if you don't get this the first time, don't wring your hands. I had to work on this several times if it makes you feel any better, but I did have fun doing it.